Hey guys, it's like 8:04. I've been up for like 20 minutes. And I really thought that I had slept for it felt like I was going to wake up at like 9 or 10 or something because I thought that I had looked on the clock and it said like 9:30 or 10. I was like, fuck. And then I looked and it was only 7:40 or something. I'm like, what the fuck? So, yeah, had a weird kind of night last night, sleep wise. I kept, before bed, I was trying to actually sort um, what I really care about and want in my life. And every time I did, I got super distracted. Where it was like, it felt almost like there was something there that I needed to deal with. So, yeah, I need to figure that out. Maybe I'll do it here. But I wanted to mention the other dream I had. Technically, it was like two dreams, but um, the first dream was kind of weird. I was back at school, and I remember having a backpack, and I was looking for someone. I don't know who I was looking for, but I just remember I don't know, being kind of annoyed that I couldn't find the person. And then sorry, my eye is just itchy. And then afterwards I I had this second dream that involved the person that I she was the person with the first job in my history that I had talked about, um where we were together but not really together, and then she ended up being like, okay, let's actually officially be together, and then she ended up sleeping with my friend. So which, by the way, just to be clear, I've totally forgiven all of that stuff. It's it's whatever. I don't we were both young, and I don't know, we had our own sets of issues, so it's yeah, there's no point in hanging on about past stuff, right? um so yeah, anyway, continuing on. So I remember we were actually interacting with each other on a train or something, and there was I don't know, she had a friend or something that we met up with, and I remember uh she had some sort of beetle or something that was crawling on her back, and I was like, hey, you need to get up. And she was just sitting there, and I'm like, bro, you have to get up so I can brush this beetle off. And then she gets up, I brush the beetle, it falls on the ground, or on the chair rather. And then I brush it off, it flicks to the ground. I know that was like important for some reason. But anyway, yeah, it's just a weird dream. And then we started talking about some new fucking plague that was gonna like hit everywhere. And because she's a nurse, or at least that's the last time I remember. Like I think she had messaged me a while ago, which I can't. It's so weird. I went to go on my Facebook because I think we were messaging through Facebook. She's just not on Facebook, or she deleted her Facebook, or something happened, because none of the messages are there anymore. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why? I didn't delete them. But I remember her like messaging me at some point saying like, hey, I wanted to thank you for, I don't know, like teaching or something. There was like it was very out of the blue to me, where I was like, oh, I don't even remember what I responded with. I'm not sure. I think I was like, oh, I'm really glad that I could help, or something. I don't know. But either way, I was just like, huh. I don't know. So but yeah, I just wanted to check, because it was weird that she came up in a dream. And I was like, why is she showing up? Because I normally don't dream of people that I don't interact with. And the fact that I can't find her on Facebook, apparently I don't have any indication of her on my phone. I'm like, what the fuck? So, I don't know. It's like she fucking vaporized from the face of the earth. Anyway, so yeah, but there was this like fucking virus or something that she was telling everyone about. And she's like, yeah, there's like overseas, there's a like an inoculation to it, but everyone's gonna get overwhelmed, so we need to get the like inoculation really fast before everything gets overwhelmed and people just start getting destroyed. So yeah, and then I woke up, and then that's when I was like, what the fuck? It's only 7:40 or something? Like, what? So yeah. Anyway, so I wanna get back to the okay. I want to actually, okay. I want to compile something real quick. So the all the messages that I've gotten from like tarot readers or from myself, there are some themes, and I just wanted to kind of compile them together so that then there's just a record of it, okay? So the first and most obvious one is this like soulmate, twin flame, divine partner, okay? It's a divine, whoever it is a divine masculine. There's some confusion about sometimes, like, whenever the reader is reading this energy, they're like, well, this could be someone that you've known in the past, and when they come back, they're a completely different person. So you have to kind of like treat them as if you're meeting them for the first time. So that's the first thing. And then the second one is it's either that or this is someone that you've never met before. So there's the two pathways, right? I kind of suspect it's going to be someone I've never met before, but I could be wrong, okay? And again, another thread with this energy is that it's going to be a surprise. I'm going to be surprised. So, yeah, it's just going to catch me off guard, basically. Like, I will be completely surprised when this happens. And it's really funny, actually. So I did a reading yesterday. Now, just to say, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think all of the readings I've done for myself have had this thread of energy in it. So I'm just throwing it out there that, like, I'm pretty sure that there's someone. Timeline wise, who the fuck knows? Could be in the next day. It could be in June. Because, okay, I'll just say, this leads me into another thread of energy. Well, okay, I'll say that in a second. I'm sorry, I get distracted. So, to kind of close out, basically, it's very consistent. No matter what I, look at. Even the readers are like, what the fuck is going on with all of these fucking love readings recently? I don't understand. And it's not just one reader. I'm telling you, if you were in my shoes, you would be, a little bit like, what the fuck? Because there's, at least 6 or 7 different people that don't have any affiliation with each other that have gotten multiple readings that are exactly the same. And I'm not, if we line them up, it'd be like, okay, there's a twin flame, there's this, there's that, here's this, okay, it's a divine counterpart, it's this, it's that. And it's it's so, lined up. And I'm like, wow, that's I don't know. You could say, oh, well, you're just clicking on videos that have twin flame or divine counterpart as part of their title. I'm like, no, I'm not. I click on whatever the feed, the algorithm has been I feel like the algorithm has been manipulated by source, the universe, whatever, to show me whatever I'm supposed to be seeing. So whenever I click on a video, it's just, I just click on, whatever's calling to me within like the first couple um parts of the feed. I don't go like searching for stuff. Um and it can be someone I've never met. Well, of course, I haven't met any of these people. It can be someone that I've never watched, or it can be someone that I have watched. I'm not trying to um, yeah, like I'm not trying to be picky here. It's just like whatever feels right is what I click on. Um, and sometimes like I'll read the title, but most of the time it's just I just go on vibes. Um, and and it's like, the readers just tend to get really surprised. And yeah, it. So I just wanted to say, to wrap up, that's the first thread of energy right there. The second thread of energy is repeatedly being told, sometimes in these same readings, where they'll do a thread about this partner, but then they'll also talk about an old soul. And I'm like, yeah, I've been told this both by the Reiki person I saw, by the life before life person. I've always felt that I've been old in a non-traditional way. And yeah, it's just like there's like so many separate threads that have pointed to me being an old soul, that an old soul doesn't actually, I don't know if I want to explain this, because it's like, it's not necessarily about like the fact that you're an old soul and that other people are young souls. It's more about the number of experiences you've had on Earth. Because souls don't have to come to Earth to experience stuff. This is just one of many like ways that you can do things. So when it comes to Earth, I very much feel incredibly old. Which is why I have a lot of deeper lessons I've been learning. Because the surface level stuff I've already kind of done in past lives. I'm like so sure on that. It's like, I'm just going to state it. But so that's another thread referencing ancient, old, like, a lot of things like that. And then this third thread of you've done a huge amount of healing. Like, and sometimes people literally reference 10 years, which is funny. Sometimes they'll say like 2020 is a important year for you, and I'm like, yeah, that's when I had my void experience, which totally changed the trajectory of my life. So like, usually those are the two things to reference: 10 years, which is when I started my healing journey, and then the void experience in 2020. Also, sometimes they will just say void is important in some way. But so that's another thread of energy. And I'll just say, some of the readings are like all of these are wrapped together. And those are the readings I'm like, okay, like clearly you're tapped into what the fuck is going on with me. Because not everyone, like, yeah, you can say, well, that's pretty vague. And it's like, is it? Like, there's some pretty specific things that most people, like, yeah, I'm sure there are other people who probably feel similarly to me, but, you know, like, obviously they're collective readings, right? But I do think that because they're collective readings, they're tapping in to the collective. And if the collective has something to say, the collective will say it, no matter how specific or vague it's going to be. So there's that. And then I will say there's only one person that I've seen that has this Kipperish deck. That one person, though, literally, it's just like Michael just keeps showing up as the high honor card in that thing. I mean, that person was the reason I got the Kipperish to begin with, because I was like, oh my god, like, I resonate so much with this deck. And in a recent video, dude, it's actually crazy. Aside from this last Kipperish reading, almost every Kipperish reading I've ever done has had the high honor card pop out where Michael's come to say hi. It's crazy, honestly. Like, you know, I asked him if he wanted to come out in that last reading, and he didn't say anything. So I was like, okay, well, maybe he's, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't have anything to say, so. But yeah, he still pops out in, like, even like yesterday, he popped out in one of the readings that I listened to, which, yeah, I ended up, I said I was only going to watch a couple, but, like, yeah, I watch more than a couple. I would probably watch like 3 or 4 per day at this point, but whatever. I just do whatever the vibes tell me. So, anyway, so aside from those threads of energy, there's another thread. Well, there's a couple threads. There's another thread, which is slow down, take a rest, because you're not going to have much time to rest later. So you need to rest now while you can. You also need to, in that same tying of stuff, it's also like you need to, like, tap into your inner child, and when you light up with, like, your inner child, and when you're just lighting up, that's when you're the most magnetic. Now, obviously, I understand that's pretty vague, but when that's a consistent theme among a lot of the readings, where it literally is like, this person is struggling to have fun and let their inner child out, and that's what I've been struggling with. You know, like, the Lego thing is like one part of it, which is great, but it's so hard for me to relax. It's really hard for me to play because like I don't even know what I'm supposed to be playing. And I guess that's part of the point is like, it's play is about just doing a thing and not really worrying about it, right? So I don't know. So there's that. And that just keeps coming up as like rest. You don't have much time to rest, so rest while you can. And then also the impending like your whole life is going to fucking change. It's like so pervasive where it's like, there's again, it's like, the divine partner is coming in. That divine partner is going to fucking change your life in such a drastic way. And a lot of the divine partner messages also kind of mention different stations or different parts of life where like, I'm not someone who is like ultra wealthy. I have like a certain amount of money, but it's finite. It's a finite resource for me. I don't have infinite wealth that I can just do whatever. And I grew up like I started in a middle class kind of neighborhood for the first 7 years of my life, and then we went straight to like poverty, like because my dad lost his job. So it's like he he struggled, and then my mom just kind of had to pick up the slack because he was just incredibly depressed. And yeah, it was really tough. And I've experienced the poverty side of things, living in like a black mold apartment where it was really hard. And it's one of those things where once you've experienced that level of like poverty, of not knowing if you're going to have food, it changes your whole perspective. Even if later you have like enough. And it took a really long time to like heal that, because the lack mindset and the like having to save and trying to saving the best for last and like whatever you want to call it, that mindset is very pervasive if you don't heal it. But anyway, I got a little off topic. But so the thread of energy there is like one of us is coming from a very affluent, either celebrity level or like very well off or whatever standpoint, and then the other is not. And that part of the thing is that me kind of recording my journey is like a proof that this can happen for people. I don't know. It's more of like, I just don't think people will believe that when you heal yourself, that stuff like this can happen. Because, you know, the point is healing yourself is what makes anything possible. And anyone can do it. You don't have to believe in spirituality. You just have to work on yourself internally. And I think that's the part where people won't believe unless it's documented. So that's why I'm documenting it. But anyway, so there's that thread of energy that keeps coming up as well. And then finally, the last kind of major thread is this idea that there's a it's almost like the universe through like people and everything just keeps saying, you need whatever is going to come up, you need to it's going to be really hard for you to say yes to whatever it is that shows up. Like, okay, so the me now is confused on why that's possible, because I feel like I'm ready for whatever is going to show up, but I think there's something about an internal wound on not being good enough that, someone actually mentioned this, where it's like it's an internal wound of not being good enough and feeling like you let's see, it's a feeling like you don't deserve, or I don't know, there's something there where if I'm not fully present in my in my understanding that I am good enough and that I am worthy of the care, love, and support that I'm going to be getting, that I could be having a hard time saying yes to the opportunity that shows up. That it'll make me feel uncomfortable in some way, maybe. And so it's almost like, I have to be so sure of myself as an individual that nothing external can shake my determination and my inner peace and my inner, like, understanding of myself. And that's really important, I think. And I think that's part of why we haven't met earlier, is because it's not that I have more healing to do. It's that I haven't really out loud said exactly what I want and what I envision my life to look like. Like, I've written it down in the past. I've said what I wrote down. But that was a while ago, and I think I need to do like a review of what it is that the current me is kind of manifesting. And I also have to embody the... Sorry, I'm trying to find like a good spot for my hands. I have to embody the thing that... Okay, I'll just say it. I understand how the manifestation works fundamentally. You basically have to live the way you think you would be living with everything already happening. And it's not even about the thinking. It's like living the way that you are manifesting before the manifestation appears. So it's like, I don't know how to really describe it in like better terms than that, because it's not super specific. It's like, it's a mindset on I'll give you kind of... Well, no, I'm not going to give an example, because I think the example will just kind of skew like what you're trying to do, because I think it's specific to you. So, with that being said, I need to actually sit down and think about it, and I got distracted last night, and so I think there's something there that I'm missing. So I'm gonna do it right now with you guys. So number one, obviously the divine partner is gonna be a part of my life, and they already are internally, because like I can feel that we're connected on a soul level. So I don't actually have to worry about that part, because that's an inevitability. We're already connected. So that's actually the thing that I should be least worried about. Because, we've already been like soul level communication. Okay. The second thing is, I really do enjoy these videos that I make. I do. I enjoy sitting here and talking about stuff. It doesn't take up too much time. And yeah, it's nice. It's nice to just be one with my thoughts, and to whatever comes up. So I think that's cool. So that's number two. I think that's just going to be a staple. And so I'm already doing that. great. I also really like readings, like the tarot readings. I like doing them for myself, and I like doing them for other people, but I haven't actually been able to do them for anyone yet. I did one for you guys, which who the fuck knows if people like that or not. Or if it resonated for anyone. I don't know. So maybe doing a reading more often would be cool. My main thing is I'm just worried that, well, it's not that I'm worried. It's that I feel like my energy is attached pretty strongly to the cards right now, which is why I'm not doing readings for, collective outside of me. But I don't know. Maybe I'll do some. I'll figure out a way to like cleanse the cards so that they're less attached to me, specifically for you guys. So, we'll see. Maybe there's some sort of cleansing ritual or something I can do. Or I could just buy a different deck and then, have that deck be for collective readings. I don't know. But, so I like that. I also really enjoy the Lego building. It's really fun to get a new set and then like zone out and just build. And sometimes I'll listen to stuff, sometimes I won't, but it feels good. So I think that's definitely going to be a part of my life in some way. But I don't think that's like a mainstay, simply because I don't want to collect a ton of Lego sets over time. I think it's going to be more akin to like what I was talking about, where when I'm on a trip, I'll get a set like I did, and then that'll be the set that I got from that trip, and then that's it, right? So there's that. I like swimming, even though it makes me tired, which is it's very bizarre that I get really tired after the swimming, even if I don't actually do much in the pool. So I don't understand what's happening there. So yeah, I'll have to experiment more, but yeah. So I like that. I like racquetball. I want to play basketball. So there's basketball. There's like that list of things like the skating, like rollerblades, or like ice skating, that stuff. That all sounds really fun. So definitely doing activity. And then there's also the gym. I also picture myself, eating healthy. Which honestly, okay, I understand that when you go to a restaurant, it's not the most diverse or healthy. But a lot of the food I've been eating has been very healthy, relatively speaking. So Yeah, and I don't think it's a crime to have a sauce on your food. But I do think that it's important to try to get as close to whole food as possible. So like, that's why I don't consume too much processed stuff. Now, I say that, but I do have these guys, which they totally got mirrored reverse wet, so rip. But they're like, I don't know, they're nice. I just feel like I was like low on protein, so that's why I have those. um I don't eat them every day, but like, yeah, it was just something I found, and they tend to be nice food wise. So, but that's more of an exception to the rule. um but yeah, so and this is where I start struggling, because it's like I'm not sure what else there should be in my life, because I don't know what the future looks like for me. And that's part of the problem. It's like a cyclical thing of like, I don't know what the future looks like, so I don't do the thing because I don't know. And then because I don't know and I don't do the thing, then there's no manifestation for it because there's nothing happening, right? So it's like a feeding Ouroboros fucking eating its tail thing. So it's like, okay, what actually do I want to do? And it's like, I just keep thinking about like the divine partner. But it's kind of like I need to be thinking in terms of, okay, this is going to sound a little weird. But I need to think like I'm on a trip and the divine partner's not there. What would I be doing? And that should be the baseline for how I exist. And then the divine partner comes in and adds rather than completes. And that is really important. I so strongly feel like that's such a key element of like a good partnership, is having your life not be built around the partner, but be built with the partner. Where it's like, you bring stuff to the table, they bring stuff to the table, and then the middle space is the fill-in where you're together doing things. And I'm not saying that the stuff that I plan won't change. That's not it. It's more about saying to the universe and to myself that I can have a totally fulfilling life without anyone. And that the partner comes in and is like a force multiplier. And basically is like, it's even better. And I think that's really crucial. So, what do I envision for myself I don't know. And this is where I got stuck and then got distracted. So I think here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the restroom. I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to go to the restroom. I'm going to really think about it. Because now that I'm awake, it's like I could just devote my like energy into thinking about this. And then as soon as I come up with at least one thing, I will turn this back on. So hopefully it'll just be a couple seconds for you guys. If I don't turn it back on, I don't know what happened. So, okay. I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. Bye. Hey guys, it is 10:25. Just got done taking a shower, and I think I have a list that I've written down, so I can just read it. And I've realized I basically have all these things in the like soul realm, and it's really just waiting for the physical realm to catch up for a lot of this. And some of it like does exist in the physical realm already, but yeah, I think it's important to understand that I already have the things. And so understanding that I already have the things inside helps with attracting the things in the physical reality faster. So, because it's not like it's not an if, it's a when. So, yeah. But anyway, so first I wrote down divine partner. Now I wrote down everything, but like, so I'm already soul connected. So it's more of like, again, physical reality catching up. Healthy food habits. I mean, look, I already have those. It's just, I'm eating the healthiest within whatever system I'm living in, right? So, but I do have the habits. It's just a matter of making sure that I keep that standard. Being close to animals, again. I've just noticed I already am. So yeah. Unconditionally loving myself and then others. I already do that. Traveling to help people. I'm literally doing that right now. Inner child play. For this one, I do this, but I need to do it more. And then I wrote a list of kind of stuff that I think I definitely should try and do more. So like, I already wrote like the Lego stuff, I do that. I think I should watch a little more anime because I do like anime. Not too much. Again, this is all like balance. I wrote painting down with a question mark. I don't know because I haven't really done painting aside from that one time for my roommate, which I don't think I had been making videos during that time, but yeah, I painted a guinea pig on a little calyx door. It actually turned out really nice, all things considered, because I had never painted. So, racquetball, basketball, soccer, swimming, ice skating, trampoline park. Those are all like activities that I would like to do more of. And I put video game in question mark because I do love video games. But it's kind of like I think I want to be doing video games with like partner slash friends rather than solo, which solo is the way I had been consuming, most games. So, yeah. Um, Confidence in self. I actually do feel pretty confident in myself. I obviously explain how I'm feeling and thinking, but I think a lot of times it's like, um, I'm just stating where I'm at. And yeah, it is what it is. But I do feel confident. It's just sometimes there are things where I'm like, okay, like there's stuff that I'm working on. So, gifts, I definitely have them and I can feel them already. It's just figuring out how to use them in the physical reality better or in some sort of like more active way. So, I wrote healing to myself and to others. I I mean, technically, I've done that to myself and to others. It's just, yeah, it's kind of like, it's more on like a soul slash like mental level. But yeah. I wrote soul family down. I know that we're already kind of connected on a soul level, but yeah, it's more of like having that soul family in the physical will help. And then home. I have a home soul wise. It's the island that I kind of mention. So it's more about like building slash having a home in the physical reality. I wrote just general abundance. I do feel abundant internally. So it's more like having that internal abundance, getting caught up in physical reality. I wrote, so these last three, before I say those three, at the very bottom, I have like 3D version of list. So it's kind of like, I know that a lot of this is in the soul realm already, or in like spiritual realm, or whatever you want to call it. Like it's already there, and it's just taking its time getting here. And it takes whatever time it needs to take, right? But so these last three, they're more like things that I think are going to happen at some point. And it's like I don't really know how this is all going to play out. But it feels weird saying these three things to you guys. So the first one is literally creating a crystal city. I've talked about this. The second is creating some sort of game, which I've mentioned, put MMO in question marks. It doesn't have to be an MMO, but like it just kind of came up there. And then this last one, I know that a lot of people are gonna feel, what the fuck? I don't know. I think it would be really cool to have like some sort of system integration stuff that happens where we get like a system, like a video game system, effectively. I put in parentheses non-violent because the thing is, sometimes in like a lot of the novels, it shows up in like pretty fucked up way because the novel has to have a plot somewhere. So it's like, okay, like I understand you can't have like a relaxed, chill integration. But I think like if it was to actually happen in reality, I think it would be like chill. So anyway, so I just put that down. But yeah. So that's kind of, that's what I've got there. And there's probably other stuff. I just can't think of it off the top of my head right now. But again, with all this stuff, I think it's a matter of when and about the timing. And I think that's why, like looking at this list, I think that's why it's just relax. Because it's like I already have it. I just need to relax and it'll show up. Which, you know, sounds confusing. And really, like, you guys just see it happen. So it's like, you know, I don't even have to try and convince you. The reality will unfold, and it's like can't make this shit up. It's just gonna show up. So like, whether you like it or not, it's just that's gonna be what it's gonna be, right? So, you can try and disbelieve it, but your belief doesn't have any effect on what my reality is going to be. So, yeah. Oddly, I feel more confident by writing this list. It's like, yeah. I don't know why I was even like anxious. And it wasn't really that I was anxious. It's just more like impatient is the right word. It's like knowing, okay, you know what this is like? It's like knowing that Christmas is going to show up and you're going to have like presents or whatever, you know. And as a kid, I'm using the as a kid thing where it's like, you know, you're like 7, 8 years old. You know that Christmas is coming and that there's going to be presents. And you're super excited. But you actually don't know what day Christmas is. So to you, it could be tomorrow. It could also be, you know, a couple of months from now, right? You're not too sure. You know that it's like soon. And, you know, they're like your family's like putting up the Christmas tree, or whatever it is. And I say Christmas tree, it could be like literally just putting up stockings. It could be decorating an outside tree. my family did that one year, where it was like we decorated an outside tree because we didn't want to chop it down a tree or anything, or get one cut. One year we rescued a tree from the dumpster. That was when we were like really struggling, and it's like we couldn't afford to do it, and so like we went around and found a tree in a dumpster, and then took it home. But like, yeah, anyway, point is like yeah, it's you're excited, and there's like, yeah, you're technically waiting, but you're still living your life between now and whenever that is. But every night you're like, okay, is it going to be tomorrow? I don't know, I'm excited. And then tomorrow shows up and you're like, is it time? And it's like, oh no, it's not time yet, or oh, maybe it is time, I don't know. So that's the feeling I have, where it's like, I don't know when, I don't know where, don't know how. And so it's exciting. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. I got stuff to do, and I want to do my walk. Also, I think I'm gonna try and see if I can figure out something for me and my buddy to do that is not go sort cards for 4 hours. That's fine. We could do that. But maybe we could go do something before and then come back to his place, I don't know what that's going to look like, but I'm going to try and figure out something. I have no idea if he likes activities. He said that he's already done everything he could possibly do in this area. So he's not very much help when it comes to like figuring out what would actually be interesting to him. So maybe doing some sort of physical activity would just be like, what? We're doing something like that? So I don't know. Maybe he'd be like, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye.
Hey guys, it is 7:19. Today was a good day. Ended up doing earlier in the day. Ended up doing a reading that kind of felt like a botched reading, but I think it was just I wasn't getting it. I wasn't tapped in enough, and yeah, so it's funny. Even the cards were like, "You don't get it," and I'm like, "Okay, I get it. I get that I don't get it." So I might end up posting that anyway, just to kind of show that, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it would showcase, but um, I want to retract what I just said there. I think I do understand what it would showcase. It would showcase that, like, Michael disagrees with me sometimes. Uh, because he literally, like, in the reading at the end, he's like, "You do not get it," and I'm like, okay. So I think maybe just posting it because of that is like helpful enough. But anyway, Uh, so what did I actually do? I went to the mall, did my little walks, ended up sitting down and meditating a little bit. I felt like I unlocked something while I was there. And this one guy that was sitting across from me, he tried to spy on my meditation, which I've never had happen before. He didn't do it physically. I just felt as I was meditating that someone was trying to like come in and see what was going on. Because I will say the like energy emanations I was doing were like pretty strong towards the end there. And so I literally look at him in the like his face just popped up, and I was like, "Excuse you," and I like flicked him like a fucking bug, like out of my like space, and I'm like, "Stop spying." And then when we met eyes a couple like minutes later, he was very angry, and I was like yeah, like fuck off, like stop spying on my fucking meditations. Um, so yeah, that was interesting. I also thought it was like weird how easily I could just like fucking banish this person from my like space. So I don't know. Um, but yeah. So and then I went to Piggly Wiggly again. Got a my fruit after I ate. I ate at the place that has the teriyaki tofu, and then I got the little vegetable, or I mean fruit bowl. And after that, I came back. Did the reading. I don't know if it was botched so much as my interpretation was not there. The first half I think went really well. The second half, I just didn't understand what was being said. Um, so yeah, I'm not sure. Um, and then okay, thinking about this, do I want to say that? You know what? I'm just gonna leave it open because I don't actually know what was going on there. Anyway, after my friend came, picked me up, and we were like, "What are we gonna do?" And it felt like it was gonna be another magic day. And in my reading, it's funny. The first part of the reading was like super important. At first, I did 3 things that I thought was going to be like things I'm currently working on. Turns out they actually weren't. They were 3 paths that I could pick. At least that's the interpretation I was getting. The middle one was the inner child one. And that one had literally the Empress, the High Priestess, and the fucking King of Cups as the clarifier cards. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking doing this one. And it was, you need to do more inner child, like opening up and doing things that you want to do inner child wise. So when I was in the car with my buddy, I was like, well, we could go back. And there was I could feel it. There was a crossroads there. And I felt like in that moment, it was a cross between this like fame path, which is not like it's not what I actually want. but it would give me money, but it's not what I want. Or the inner child path. And the inner child path was, let's do something fun. Because we've been doing the like standard, like, okay, let's go to a museum, let's go walk around, let's go do this thing, let's just hang out and play some Magic, which is fine. But, you know, aside from the Lego thing, I haven't really done anything for my inner child. And so I'm like, okay, what if we, you know, I listed off like 4 or 5 things that I was like, this would be a lot of fun to do. And it was all of the like action oriented, like skating, ice skating, rollerblades, like basketball, that kind of stuff. And one of them was not even on there. It was go-karting / mini golf, and I forgot about liking go-karting. And so we were like sifting around through it, and we ended up finding a place that had a little arcade, go-karts, and a mini golf course. Well, technically 2. 2 18-hole mini golf courses. Which surprisingly had a lot of depth in it. They had a little watering, like, hazards, and yeah, it was fun. And the thing that I thought we were gonna have the most fun with, which was the go-karts, because we went there. It took like 45 minutes both ways, so we couldn't stay for more than like an hour and a half or 2 hours. But yeah, we ended up going, and here, let me actually, I could. Okay, now I don't want to dox my friend here. Okay. I don't know if this is coming through at all. You can see the final scores at the bottom. Now, mind you, the way we counted these scores was different, but so for the first game, I got a 53, he got a 25. For the second game, I got a 29, he got a 51. Now, the thing about this is, for the mini golf, we acted like we were playing golf with your friends. So we did all the golf with your friends rules. Person who's furthest hits, person who, you get up to 12 strokes, and, you get in the water, you get sent back to the fucking beginning, or whatever your last position was. And yeah, so what we tallied above par. So that was all above par. So like I on the first one got 53 above par because I got 2 14s, because I just ran out of strokes on those 2. And then he never ran out of strokes, but he got pretty close on some of the second sets. But yeah, he still thoroughly beat me. Even if we compare our worst games across, he beat me by 2 on his worst game, and then on his best game, he beat me by 4, which is fine. We had a lot of fun there, and that's what I was saying. We had more fun doing that than we did doing the go-kart, even though the go-kart was fun. So the go-kart was fun. Basically, like, for the first like half of the go-karting, he was behind me, and I was definitely the slowest one there, because I didn't want to spin out or anything, but I was still like booking it. So eventually I let him through, and then the other, there was like a few, I don't know what their ages were. We'll just say young ladies. But I guess they had come to all hang out together or whatever. But this place was surprisingly like pretty inexpensive. The go karting cost $10 a piece, and then the mini golf was like 12 for like an 18-hole course. And you can do 15 for double for both courses. But because of the way it works, it only ended up being an extra dollar to do both, because you could like, yeah, it was a whole thing. But so yeah, I ended up doing that, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So oh right, well, what I was saying is there like two of them lapped us, uh, because I think there was like four of them, and so it was me, my buddy, and then them. I was second to last. He was last. But as soon as I let him through, he just fucking rocketed past everyone and got to like he got to the person who was lapping. I think there was only one person that actually lapped. Now that I think about it, because they were first, I think, from the beginning, and they just came by and just zoomed past. But yeah, so it was a pretty small course, but like we got a lot of laps in. It was fun. We spent like maybe like 20 minutes doing the go-karts. And then the next like hour and some odd minutes we were doing the golf. And it was fun. Towards the end, he was like trying to hit my ball out, because he's like, I already lost this. Now I'm just gonna try to make you get a worse score. So it was very funny. But yeah, so I think about it, and it's like, yeah, that's what we should have been doing. Now, okay, I say should have. I think it was fine that we did what we did. I enjoyed our time that we spent together. But that was definitely the right play. We had a lot of fun. We were just hanging out. So that's a learning moment for me. Going forward, I need to do more of that, where I just like I definitely, there was like this moment where we got up to the cart part, and I was really anxious. I'm like, man, what is it? It's like, and it was like this idea that was like, oh, I'm too old to do this. I'm like, what? No, adults like do go-karting and mini golf all the time. But yeah, I just realized that was a limiting belief I was having about the idea that I'm not allowed to do these things because I'm too old. I'm like, fuck that. And as soon as I strapped in, it was fine. Everything went really well. So yeah, I think it's the right play to let my inner child kind of steer a little bit. What I mean by a little bit is, I mean like steer the direction of the things we do during the trip. On the way back, we weren't able to get food. So I was like, okay, let me get food. There's this Thai place. And my inner child's like, I want bread. And there's a Panera Bread. We haven't had Panera Bread in a really long time. And I want a Panera Bread with a bread bowl. Meh. And I'm like, yeah, but there's a little cheese on the French onion. It's like, I don't care. I just want the Panera Bread bowl. I'm like, okay, fine. Because I noticed again, it was like there was this worry in the back of my head, like, oh, if you eat a little cheese today, tomorrow you may have some stomach problems because you ate a little cheese. And I'm like, I'm not going to let that. First of all, it was a very small amount of cheese. Second of all, I think it's fine. And I don't have to worry about the cheese giving me a problem because it actually just doesn't. It's just when I eat a lot of cheese, that's when I have like some stomach issues. But I mean, I eat a lot of vegetables. Um, it's fine. So yeah, that's just like that's where I'm at. And I came back and started recording. So as far as the first leg of the trip, I had fun. I saw some things, hung out, did the little beach thing. Immediately got like, I say punished, but like immediately got sunburned. Luckily, it didn't actually hurt, which was great. And then the rest of the trip, I just kind of used sunscreen, and so you can see that like, well, I guess you can't really see because the light's so bright, but trust me when I say I haven't been burned since. So, and I've been walking on average like 40 minutes outside. So, yeah, I watched the movie. I did the went to the aquarium and saw that bald eagle. That was really cool. Like standing like 2 feet from a bald eagle, like pretty cool. Felt a little bad about why the bald eagle was there, but that was cool. Yeah, I don't have any regrets on this first leg of the trip. I think everything went really well. So even this place is actually fine. It's totally fine. So people seemed nice that I've interacted with, and I don't know. I'm really happy that things went well. And tomorrow, we're gonna head up, and it'll be part 2. Part 4 with the uncle in Long Island. I don't know what's gonna happen with that because there's like a family member that on their side that is sick and they're a bit older, so it's like okay, they might have to like go up and like see the person at some point. So I don't know what their plan is there. So I just told them like, look, if we need to reschedule the plane to a different day, let me know and we'll figure it out. So yeah. Other than that, I'm looking forward to hang out with my second buddy. I think this first one, I think he'll be fine. Like, for as much as I have been worried about him, he has one of the cushiest, like, non stressful lives that I know. Basically, he doesn't have to pay for anything if he doesn't want to. His parents are basically just like, we'll do whatever for you. So it's like, yeah, he doesn't need a job. He could just sit there his whole life, and that's what he plans on doing. So it's like, if that's what he wants to do, that's fine. And yeah, I don't know. I've decidedly put him in the category of eyes shut. He has not like cracked his eyes open at all in terms of like his internal like workings. He's still at the phase of like decidedly not understanding that you can in fact change your programming. And then he's like, "Oh, well, technically you can, but I don't think you can actually change everything." And which you can. You just have to be able to see it. That's what the 10 years of healing I've done was for, right? I sat down and every day it's just like looking at the ways in which I operate, figuring out why I do what I do, and then editing, updating, seeing if it works. If it doesn't work and I don't like it and it doesn't resonate with me, switch it up. And I just did that for 10 years. And there was a lot of heavy stuff that I went through and kind of let the emotions out, all that stuff. So, of course, someone who hasn't gone through that won't understand how profoundly you can change yourself. So, and you guys got to see the tail end of that, but you have no idea how like different I was even when I started this channel to like now. It's just I was so different. But yeah. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm not here to try and force people to see my opinion or my perspective, right? I'm just documenting and stating how I feel, how I think, and people can take it or leave it, and that's it, right? Because I believe in free will, I believe in free choice, and if you get something out of what I say, great. If you don't, that's okay, right? So, and I'll say, honestly, I did think I was gonna like go back there today, but I realized that just wasn't the right choice, or at least not the right choice if I want to pursue the inner child choice or path. So I just saw, well, I saw 444. Anyway, just my timer. Because it's technically like 2444, so it's like I saw 444. But anyway, so what do we go from here? I don't think that I'm going to be doing anything else. So I'm probably just going to record the stuff for tomorrow in the morning, and then just we'll head out there. We're going to be leaving at like 12:30. So it's kind of like oh yeah, I guess I'm going to have my suitcases for like an hour and a half. I didn't even think about that I would have to check out by 11. Well, before 11. I mean, it should be fine. I guess I'll drag them to the mall. Like, it's going to be a little awkward, but yeah, that should be fine. I'll let that be tomorrow. That's tomorrow me's problem. All right. Have a good night, everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.